This course is Mountain Branch Golf Course. This is a semi-private club, okay? You figure out what semi-private club means, but it is a course in Joppa, Maryland, which is just northeast of Baltimore, up 95. It's off 152 going north towards Route 1. It's about 50 miles northeast of DC, out 95. So you got to go to Baltimore, go around the Baltimore Beltway, then head up, still up 95, and it's about another 15, 20 minutes up 95 from the split, I guess, 695 split, and you get to 152, and then you drive up 152 for about 5 minutes, and then you get to the course. And I was surprised that this course was even there. I was very surprised by this facility. It literally pops out in the middle of nowhere, I would say, poof, and there's a really nice looking clubhouse, nice looking dining area, nice looking golf facilities, and a nice looking course. And I will say this, the course was in almost pristine condition. And I looked at the satellite image of the course, and what I noticed about this course was there was a lot of waste, a lot of swampy areas, a lot of, you could see marsh, where it's like wet, but not quite a lake or something. And there are a couple of lakes on this course. I know that there's one on like the fourth hole. There is a big marsh, so forth on the, I think it's the 12th hole, 12th or 13th hole. And there's the par 3, number 11, which is over a small pond. There certainly is water on this course, no question. But it wasn't as just a mess where you just had creeks running here, hither and yon with a big pond and stuff, over there. It had water, but it was more under control. It was a slightly cooler day, and there were almost no bugs out. The sun did come out, fairly nicely. We just had a better weather, I think, for golf that day. And as a consequence, we had less, natural interference. And we just kind of got into the round. Well, 4 guys, basically, all roughly about the same skill level. And we just kind of, got off in golf and had a great time. I really enjoyed playing that course. There were the things with the group ahead of you that was a little slow, and the group behind you was pushing you now and then, things like that. But they're fairly normal. They weren't really bad. The only thing I could really criticize this course with, the only really thing I would really criticize this course, is they really do have an emphasis on dining, on being a social dining place. And so they had a band there, a live cover band for Journey, and that band was playing concert level. I'm serious, concert level volume. And, for us from the 16th, 17th, and 18th hole, our play was essentially dominated by this cover band, which was, we were thinking, there's a wedding today or something. No, it was just a normal Saturday afternoon at this place. And when we finished our round and got done, and we came up there, we were done about just, slightly before dark, really not too much before dark. And the back deck was packed, and they have 2 decks there. The bar area was packed. And the funny thing about it is they have a lot of space at this place for eating. You can see in the pictures that I showed 3 or 4 different areas, but almost none of the other places had anybody there. And it's like, it's just going to get worse. It's going to be even busier than it is now. My suggestion is if you play this course, you definitely want to be done by like 6. You don't want to be one of these people coming in at the last minute, because they just are just going to open up. There's going to be the diners that want to eat while it's still daylight, while they can still see each other and so forth. And they don't want to be out there when it's dark and there's mosquitoes and all kinds of stuff. So since I tend to be a player who plays, I don't really like to start before 2 o'clock. I just have other things to do in the morning, and a lot of times I drive, distances to play golf, and it's hard to get up at 6, 7 o'clock, drive 5 hours to play golf and start, before 10. It's hard. That's really hard. So I have this habit now where I really kind of start between 1 and 2, and it helps in the summer when I have all day, to get to finish. But I don't appreciate this, and I completely admit I was less than amused to hear this band cranking out over the golf course at the 18th green where we're trying to finish the round. And I had the same problem at Independence in Richmond, where, we're trying to finish the round and they start playing music on the back deck. And, you're like, okay, fine. We'll just forget about concentrating on golf and just, enjoy the loud music that you guys want to play, because you think everybody who's important or significant has already finished golf and is waiting to eat and sit down and have a few drinks. Likewise, when I played it, I can't remember the name. They call it the Brickshire or whatever. It's the UVA course out by Charlottesville. And they just have this massive tables and stuff out there, next to the course. I'm like, how are you supposed to play golf on a course? This is a common thing I've seen on some courses, not a lot of courses, but some courses. How are you supposed to play golf when there's people sitting next to the course? Either they're sitting 20 feet behind you when you're teeing off, or they're sitting 20 feet next to the green. Where does this come from? I guess it's because nobody ever hits a ball long. Oh yeah, when I played out old whatever in Pittsburgh, the same thing. A big green and a big dining area right behind the green. Nobody ever hits a ball long. Nobody ever skulls a ball. Nobody ever gets the distance wrong. No, it never happens. You know why it happens? Because they duff. They duff hard because they're trying not to hit the ball long. So they just hit it fat and it goes like 60 feet in front of the. Of course it disturbs people who are playing golf. Of course it does. Do they care? No. Of course. They're more worried about the dining money at that point, because the money they earn for the golf round, that's 4 hours old. Now they're looking at food service and drink service. I just don't, I honestly, it's sometimes, to me, it's honestly disappointing to think of how self-centered people are. And I say that knowing how self-centered it sounds, but at the same time, in some cases, I paid a lot to play this course. Okay, I would appreciate it if the people who sell tickets for golf courses don't forget about the patrons who pay to play the course in favor of the patrons who want to eat and drink in the clubhouse or dining area next to the course. Okay, if you want to have a dining area or something next to the course, then don't put a green there. Don't put a tee box there. Don't try to cram all this crap into the same space. Anyway, so back on track. What was the course like? It was a nice course. First, a lot of it over this undulating kind of landscape. It had, a modest kind of verticality, nothing really wide open, and certainly tighter than a lot of courses. But again, one of the big advantages of this course, there's almost no houses on the course. So I really don't remember seeing any houses on the course until I got back to like the 12th or 13th green, where there's a house behind the green and a house to the left on the road, and there's a farm or something where this guy's got a stable or a pasture or something and a horse next to like the 15th tee box. And then you go 16, 17, and 18 up to the green. Most of the course does not have any houses next to it. That does not mean, however, that the houses that are there that you don't see won't have somebody out there playing some loud redneck music while you're trying to tee off. And in this case, we did have someone like that while we were trying to tee off. So that, unfortunately, that was not, the fact that there weren't a lot of houses was not sufficient guarantee that the course would be quiet all the way around. Likewise, there was at least one asshole who passed us on the road that runs by. There's a section of the course, there's like 4, I think it's before you come in, like 6, 7, 8, and 9, or something like that, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is by 152, okay, and another feeder road that goes to 152. And of course, some asshole saw us through a gap in trees, honked his horns, and drove by, and never fails. It's at least one guy is going to do that. So anyway, but a nice course, decent greens, Good guarding greens. This one was a little bit longer at about 7,050 yards from the back tees. And this one had gold tees, black tees, blue, white, gold, and some other, like, I don't know, gentleman's tees and ladies' tees. But it had a number of different tees, and we played from the black tees. So not quite the back tees, but it still was, decently long and decently tough. I would say it was really long. I mean, even, 6,800 yards from these black tees is not long. I'm never going to call that long. Okay. I'm never going to say that that was hard, especially in this course. It wasn't really hard. It was okay. But if you had a decent game, it wasn't hard. It was a lot of it was, hit out to the fairway, maybe a par five, carry some waste, and then, chip on and putt out. And when you're free to do that, when a course is open enough that you're free to hit fairways, hit your second shot, hit your third shot on or near the green and chip out and so forth, it's not going to be hard. It's only going to be really hard when there's a stone wall in front of a creek that's right in front of the greens on the par three, or there's water just off the back or off the sides of the green, or there's a fairway where there's a lake running down the sides of the fairway. Then you start running into a little trouble. Trees overhanging the green and that kind of thing, then you run into a lot of trouble. But generally speaking, not much trouble on this course, which was good and bad. It gave us a chance to enjoy playing the course without someone dying of embarrassment with every hole. I think that has a certain thing when you're playing and just having a casual round. You don't need a course that's going to beat you up. But at the same time, I do like a tough course now and then. Certainly that challenges me and my game, but it's not the kind of thing I think that's easy to do with a large group. It works better with two players, two good players, two players of modest to decent skills who can handle that, because it just gets depressing to play with somebody who misses easy shots, can't handle the slightest difficult shot, and then goes out and tries to play a tough course. It just, for me, historically, that's just never really worked. I find that kind of partnering to be more limiting than enjoying, and I'd avoid that if all possible. Just drop back and say, all right, you guys go play. I'll wait. I'll hit two balls, whatever. So this course is kind of in the middle there. Again, another sub 140 course from the very back tees. Looked like a decent challenge of a course, though, from the back tees, definitely. And so I would definitely say that this course is more of a B+ course, except for that stupid cover band that they start at around 6:30. Except for that one thing, I would rate this as a decent B+ course. That's Mountain Branch in Joppa, Maryland. A decent 7,000 yard B+ course, but don't start so late that you're coming in after the cover band starts.